Prop firm rules can make or break your challenge, and Finotive funding has some of the trickiest rules that traders need to understand. If you don't know these rules, you could fail your challenge before you even place your first trade. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm now on the Finotive funding website and I've gone into rules. What I really like about the way that they've done the website is that they've made it very friendly for us to be able to see what's going on. And it's got all the rules nicely here. You can select the challenge rules, the instant funding, or the Finotive Pro. I'm on challenge. We see that we have a daily drawdown, and because I'm doing the 2-stage 100K, I have 5% daily drawdown, and it explains that the equity must not fall below the specified percentage. So we know that the daily drawdown is based on equity. So already just by that, I know that I probably won't be swing trading with this firm because we don't like equity-based daily balance. The max drawdown, 10% for the 2 stages. That's really good. We've got 10% for both, and they also give you an example. Consequences. Breaching either drawdown rule is a hard breach. Your account is going to be closed and you're not going to get a refund. Next one. Now, this is the one that I want you to pay particular attention to, and this is the cash risk rules. A trader's combined risk on all open positions must not exceed the specified percentages of their initial capital at any point. For me, it's 5%, which means that at any one moment, I can only have a maximum risk of 5% on the table. It explains this here. So if you've got 100,000, your risk must not exceed $5,000. Another important bit is instrument risk. For the 2 stages, it's 2.5. So what that basically means is that even though you have a total risk of 5%, you can't use 5% on one instrument. So that's why they've got instrument risk, which is 2.5%. If I was taking a trade on GBP USD, the maximum risk I could put is 2.5%, not 5%. But I could open a GBP USD position and a Euro USD. They're both different instruments, and therefore we could put 2.5 and 2.5 to make it 5. So that's very important. So don't be going and putting 3%, 4% on a position. Then half risk limits. When you're funded, both your total risk and instrument risk are reduced by half. If your total risk was 5%, when you're funded, it'll drop to 2.5% total risk, and the instrument risk is 1.25. So what I like about it is that they're very transparent in the way that they talk about all these things. So there's no what's the story here, or what happens when this happens, or let's say you become funded and then next minute they're telling you that you can't risk as much. At least here, you know what you're getting. Drawdown protection. Risk on all positions and per instrument cannot exceed twice the remaining account balance. If you only have $500 left, you can't open a position which the total risk would be 3,000. Your maximum combined risk has to be 500 times 2, which is 3,000. And then they say the consequences. Right. Then trading day rules. You need 2 minimum profitable trading days, and a profitable trading day is defined as 0.5%. What's important is before each payout. So I don't like that necessarily, because now let's say you make money on the first day. Now you got to have another day of winning before you can even get your payout. Now, this is very important. Stop loss rules. I had a little bit of a situation because I have had my 100K 2-step for about a month, nearly about a month, and I haven't taken any trades yet. I've got a lot of accounts, so I haven't managed to do anything with this yet, also because I needed to look up the rules. So what I did, which is what I usually do with all my accounts so that they are not inactive, I put a 0.01 lot size position on, and I quickly opened and closed it. Now this is where I was in trouble a little bit. You need to have a mandatory stop loss. Every trade must have a stop loss within 60 seconds of opening, and the consequences of it would be a substitute stop loss applied on the 3rd strike. So what ended up happening is the moment I actually closed the position, I got an email straight away, and they basically gave me a warning saying that this is my first warning, and they basically told me what would happen if I kept doing that. This minimum stop loss was taken off. So let's go straight into the FAQ just to make sure that we are not missing something. And in particular, I'm going to go to the trading rules and risk. is our drawdown static or trailing. So they use static balance-based drawdowns, never trailing equity. So daily drawdown reset every day at this time based on the previous day's closing balance. This means your daily limit doesn't shrink intraday when your equity goes up, and you always know your exact limit for the session. What is the daily drawdown rule? At 5, your daily loss limit is reset. It's calculated from the lower of your account balance or equity at that time. What is the cash risk rule? I think we covered that. Yes, we did. Limits by account type. It says that if you have a 2-step challenge, it's actually 2% per instrument and 4% total. That's why it's important that we actually went here, because on the previous page, it had said 2.5%. So it's good that we see here it's 2% and 4%. Maybe I didn't read something correctly in the previous one, but that's why it's very important to always go in the FAQ, because maybe you might have assumed something when you read something else. Now I know, okay, maximum 2% per instrument. Go back. What is notional volume and why does it matter? I think what this is basically saying is, let's say you're doing a swing trade position. Let's say you've got 100 pip stop loss and you're still using a 60 lot position. Well, you are putting a lot of risk on the table. I think that's what it means. That's what I understand from this, just from a quick glance. Right, stop loss rule. What happens if my account is inactive? So inactivity means no new trades. Open positions don't count. You must actively open new trades to avoid inactivity. Before any closure, you'll receive 2 email reminders giving you the chance to reactivate. The account will be closed. Behavior and fair play. Now, this is where we need to be very careful, and we need to actually understand what are they trying to say, because this is where prop firms might be able to find some sneaky way to ban you or not give you a payout. So let's see what they define as behavior and fair play. What behaviors trigger gambling? So excessive notional volume, running exposure above 1,000% of your account balance, red flag. High frequency, martingale, news straddling, abnormal stop loss usage. The consequences. This is one you need to be careful of. Why should I let a position reach its stop loss or take profit instead of closing it early? So here they talk about how you should always use the right stop loss and you should let it go wherever, right? Allow the market to reach one of these levels. Now, the problem I have with this rule is you might have a stop loss and a take profit, but you might see something that happens in the market and you need to react, or you don't like the way price is moving and maybe you're a discretionary trader, and then that means you get out of the position. If you do this too many times, then they're going to define it as gambling. 50% of your trades show no interaction with stop loss or take profit. Then they might say you're gambling. So be very careful about that. Try and make sure that your stop loss and take profit more or less are where you want to get out. What is the margin? Up to 1 to 100. Can I hold trades over the weekend? Yes, but it comes with extra risk. Are there restrictions on trading around news events? No, you're free to trade around news events, but you must manage the extra risk responsibly. So that's good. We can trade during the news if we have a position open. If we were swing trading on this account, which I'm probably not going to do, but if I was, then at least I can hold during the news, which is nice. So I think besides the equity rule, it actually is quite a decent firm for swing trading actually, but I will be day trading with it. Can I use expert advisors if you designed or coded them yourself? Skilled traders sometimes use automation. That's valid. Off the shelf, we find not algorithms. So be careful of that. Can I copy trades between accounts? This is important if you've got a lot of accounts and you want to copy your personal account and maybe some other challenges or other funded accounts. Is it allowed? Copy trading is allowed, but only when it reflects your own strategy. So you can use trade copiers to duplicate your own trades across your own accounts, e.g. challenge. Not allowed. Copying traders from another trader's account. Copying trades across accounts purely to manipulate or hedge. Okay, reverse trading. You just have to be careful. If you are using a trade copier, make sure that you know all the rules of all the firms that are on the trade copier, because you might violate one of the firm's rules while another might not. So just be careful of that. Those are the rules. What I like about it is all the rules are right there. You just have to read it. And if this video helped you, drop a comment down below on any prop firm rules that you would like me to discuss, or frankly, any prop firms you'd like me to discuss. Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.